Straight out to Drew Petrimo, WDBO Radio, joining us from Orlando. First of all, before I get on the judge in this case for not granting this woman's begging for protection, and then she gets shot, gunned down in the public parking lot by the guy she went and complained about to the judge. Give me the timeline, Drew.
Well, let me first hit you with some breaking news, some new information that I just got. I just found out that from someone close to this investigation that she was actually shot 9 times by this man in her abdomen, in her chest, and even in her face. So that just shows you the vicious nature of this attack. What happened is a little bit over a year ago, she worked at a Hooters restaurant near the beach. Roger Troy, a 16-year-old man, was one of her regulars.
Wait, how old? Did you say
61 years
16?
Old.
61
years old, and she was only 23.
Is chasing this 23-year-old girl?
Well, there's no sign that there was anything. There was no sign right now. There was no sign that there was anything romantic between them, but it seems like that he became obsessed with her. He would write her harassing emails, follow her around, even stop by her house. There was nothing sexually between them, but really he just became obsessed with her. She filed for a restraining order with a judge. He set a hearing for 2 weeks from then, did not grant an emergency injunction.
But I'm just a lawyer. You're the reporter. Aren't you leaving out an important fact, Drew Petrimo? The judge's name is Dean Moxley, correct?
That is the case. And like, she filed a restraining order. The hearing was set for 2 weeks from that day that she filed it, but they did not get to there because a week after she filed it, he met her at her work and again shot her 9 times, killing her.
Now, here's my question out to you, Ellie Jostin, our chief editorial producer. Why, when you've got a woman in tears, desperate, begging for the court's protection, did the judge turn away an emergency TPO, temporary protective order, and set down a hearing for 2 weeks later?
Well, Nancy, I've got his order right here, and what Judge Moxley said is that she failed to demonstrate that there was an immediate or imminent danger of being a victim of abuse. Also said there was not a factual basis there to give her this emergency protective order she'd asked for.
Well, what do you have to do to get a protective order? I've been in court since 1984, and what is put before the judge is the testimony of the victim. That's what the judge hears. What did he want, Ellie? A video?
Yeah, I don't know, Nancy. This is what she presented to the judge. Over 62 pages of emails that she'd received from her killer, Roger Troy. She said that he showed up at her work. He showed up at her house. He left letters on her front lawn. He emailed her. He even went to work one time, boxed her into the parking lot so she couldn't leave, and then leaned into her car to talk to her. He would show up at the beach. He'd show up at stores she went to. He'd send emails suggesting he was watching her, talking about how she'd gained weight, how she changed her haircut.
Wait a minute, Ellie, I'm reading, as I read earlier, some of the, let me just say, communications this nut job gave her. It says he's trying to talk about, does her husband, her new husband, know about all the men she slept with? Yeah. The count is 50 and climbing. What a waste of humanity are. But once a hillbilly. What more can you tell me, Ellie? And the judge, I'm looking, these are pages and pages and pages of documents, of copies of threats that he gave her. What did this judge, Judge Dean Moxley, what did he want, Ellie?
Well, the judge said that he wasn't sure that Roger Troy had met the legal definition of stalking. So he said he's going to have a hearing in 2 weeks. He will allow both Blanton and her killer, he would allow them to both present both sides. Now, you're right, Nancy. She did say that she'd gotten these emails. In these emails, he's saying things like, why won't you give me the truth? Why are you lying to me? Why are you being evasive? He certainly seems to think they have much more of a relationship than she thought.